Hello there, Parth Sharma this side bringing you the best chess games going all around the world. Do take time to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. You can also support me financially on Patreon and PayPal. The links are in the description because your support is my motivation which keeps me going. Coming back to chess, my favorite game from round 9 of FIDE Online Nations Cup was the game between Sergey Karjakin and Alireza Firouzja. Well, both teams, the Team Russia and Team Rest of the World, were out of the contention and also with Team India. So the focus was only on the rest of the three teams, the Team China, Team US and Team Europe. Team China already qualified for the final, so the race was between Team Europe and Team USA on who will go through. So this was kind of a consolation match between Team Russia and Team Europe. So let's see how this pans out. This game, Sergey Karjakin playing with white pieces and Alireza with black. Sergey opens with e4, c6 by Alireza, the Karjakin defense, advanced variation from Sergey. Normally you see knight c3 or knight d2 being played, so that if captures then knight comes on e4 with a good positional attack from white. Bishop f5 from Alireza, knight f3, e6, bishop e2, knight e7, and this is somewhat kind of a French defense with this bishop already out from c8 square. Normally in French defense structures you see bishop on c8, and here the idea is to play c5 to undermine this pawn on e5, so that if c5 pawn recaptures, then you can play knight on g6 and then knight c6 or knight d7 for that matter to pressurize this pawn, and not to forget this pawn will be on crease with bishop breaking down on c5. So that's the idea. Knight b d2 being played, and now c5. And this positions in French defense you see c3 being played with all the exchanges, and black tries to build more pressure on this pawn by playing knight c6, queen b6, and white responds with knight b3 to defend this pawn, but this pawn stays loose in French defense, and not to forget this bishop stays on c8 in French defense position. So knight f5 is also played on these positions to attack this pawn on d4 and pressurizing more, piling more pressure on this pawn. Well, in this case Sergey took on c5 and now knight e c6, so try to build more pressure here. Knight b3 defends this pawn, bishop g4, castles, knight d7, two pieces attacking, and now a strange move from Karjakin. He should have played knight f d4. So knight takes d4, knight takes, bishop has to take, queen takes, bishop takes c5, bishop e3. Well, you can, of course you cannot take it because of queen b5 check, and this pawn drops. So this position could have been playable, but here Sergey plays knight e1, which is quite passive. Alireza takes, queen takes, knight takes e5, so one pawn is recovered. Knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, and now knight d3. So probably this was the idea, to place this knight here to attack the bishop and still strongholding the pawn. Bishop goes back to e7, queen g4, so threatening this pawn, and if you castle, well, this loses because of bishop h6, g6, the rook drops, so king f8 has to be played, queen h5 from Karjakin, king g8. Well, c3 would have been better move instead of queen h5, and because now knight d4 could have been played, but Alireza plays king g8, so never mind. Bishop e3 stopping this knight d4. Rook c8 developing the queenside rook. Rook a d1. So just preparing c3 and also try to prepare something like bishop d4 and able to move this knight to f4, so the position would be quite better. Queen a5 attacks the pawn. a3. Queen a4 attacks another pawn. c3. And now a5. Bishop g5. h6 attacks the bishops. Bishops were exchanged. h3 just giving king some room in case something nasty happens on back rank. Knight comes to f5. That's a good square. Rook fe1 and now rook c4. Well, the threat is to play rook h4 and things won't be pleasant. Queen won't be trapped because queen e2 could be played. Well, the g3 stops this rook h4 move. Queen c6, just putting more pressure. Possibly try to play d4 break and pawn takes, then rook will have a good activity on the 7th rank. Queen f3 being played, so stopping this, as queens would come off and the position would be quite level. h5, knight f4, double attack on this pawn. Two pieces are attacking. g6 and now rook d2. Could have played knight g2 in this position, but rook d2, possibly understanding this, it's kind of plausible. You can understand why did he play this. b5. So now Alireza, taking the opportunity, starts to push his queenside pawns, and this simple little inaccuracy may cost Karjakin the game. Let's see, g5, that's an excellent move, and queen g2 was a bit of oversight in this position. He could have simply played rook c1, so there would have been more pressure on this file, but nevertheless he went queen g2, king f8. So basically he's trying to push this rook here in front of the white king. King h2 is trying to come out of that. King e7, queen h1, and I think d4 could have been a better move. Let's try to exchange queens, and with this exchange is being taken place, the position would be quite playable, but instead after queen h1 he plays rook d8. Well, rook e d1 from Karjakin, rook e4, queen g2, queen c4, king g1, rook g8, queen h1, so little bit shuffling going on somewhat. Rook g6, queen g2. Again, I didn't like this move. Again, it places away, so some tactics might come off like h5 or possibly g4 sort of tactics, and if g4 then h4 might try to sacrifice and some nasty things might happen. And I think this miscalculates a bit and plays knight h4 instantly. Well, if you take, then this takes, the queen is pinned, queen h1 just coming out of the pin, g4, same threats, and here he could have played b3, and that would have been the best move. Well, I will tell you why that would have been the best move in the position. But here Karjakin blunders with g takes h4, which was decisive, was after g takes h3 check, king f1, h2, it's all gone. Sergey Karjakin resigned the game. So what is going on basically? Okay, rook g1 is threatened, and if queen takes pawn, rook takes h4, the queen is trapped and the queen is gone. And going back to this position after g4, well, if he plays b3, then the things are quite different, because if now g takes h4, pawn takes, this king comes to f1, and maybe things aren't quite well here. But after g takes h4, queen takes c3, and king f1. Oh, by the way, I should say after g takes h3 check, he can simply play king h2 in this position, and the things are quite well. Not going king f1, that would lose. But you can see clearly in this position, after b3, when queen takes b3, the rook is undefended, so it cannot take on h4. Let's say g takes h4, and this comes with check. The king can go to h2 in this position, and that is playable, because rook takes, let's say this check is not possible because king takes and then rook takes h4. This rook is undefended, the queen is on b3, not on c4. So great game, but ruined by a small blunder from Karjakin, but a good victory for Alireza. This one giving some consolation win. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Cheers. Bye.